What's up, guys? Nate here. Today we have a massively crazy video, crazy reveal. This is a reveal that is 25 years in the making. Today, I am finally able to reveal without a doubt the brand of boots worn by Ghostface in the original 1996 Scream. That's right. I've got it. I'm ready to reveal, but I'm also ready to tell you the story of how we got to this point because it's a crazy story. That's right, guys. As you know, for 25 years, fans have wondered what was the brand of boots worn by Ghostface in the original Scream. And I can tell you from my own personal experiences, I tried everything for 25 years. I would sometimes find myself just scrolling through page after page after page after page of boots online, just looking for anything that looked similar or had a similar like tread pattern that, you know, if you remember, they have a very unique kind of wavy tread pattern on the bottom. And no luck, guys. Nothing ever even came close whatsoever. Fellow fans like Nick Meese and Corey Hurst, you know, we've pretty much searched since the movie came out. Like, what are these boots? We want them. And as years went on, it just seemed more and more like we were just never gonna know. I actually was the first person to be able to interview the original costume designer on Scream, Cynthia Bergstrom. We're really good friends now, but of course that was one of the first questions I asked her was what were the boots? What were the Ghostface boots? Unfortunately, she didn't remember the brand. It had been so long. All she remembered was that they might have came from Sears because they bought a lot of the wardrobe at like Sears / JCPenney type stores. So they might have came from there. You know, as fans over the years, we've looked through, you know, 1994, 1995 Sears and JCPenney's catalogs and ads and just literally done everything we possibly could do to try to figure out what this brand was, and just nothing ever came close to it. And as I said, unfortunately with stuff like this, typically as time goes on, the more the years go by, the less of a chance there is at finding an exact pair, let alone what brand they were. So, okay, story time. As soon as Scream came out in 4K, I was thinking maybe we could get a better look at it. And we did. In the Sydney attack scene, there is a very brief shot where Ghostface is kneeling down, and you can actually see from this angle the bottom of the sole of the boot. And you can make out in 4K this little tiny, what appeared to be an orange square on the bottom, which I believe was some sort of logo. How did we get to where we are today then, where I'm about to reveal the brand? Finally! 25-year mystery solved. Well, about a year ago, as you all know, Skeet Ulrich, who played Billy Loomis, he does several horror conventions now. There's a video floating around where Skeet has said at a convention, at a Q&A, that, you know, they actually had me wearing the exact same boots that Ghostface wears, and I kept my pair. I kept them. I don't... And that was it. That was his quote. Yep, I have the boots. So now we're like, okay, maybe there's a brand, or maybe there's a pair out there, an actual screen-used pair. We could finally solve this mystery. Sean Clark, who represents Skeet at conventions, and asked him, you know, hey, is there any chance you can help us solve this 25-year mystery? And ask him, you know, hey, fans want to know, what's the brand of these boots? I'm very like, this is it. This is the big moment, right? Nope. Unfortunately, Skeet informed us that he does not remember the brand, and he also no longer has them. Back to square one. Then something amazing happened. Skeet also remembered something. A little detail that was kind of like this is interesting. He remembered that the movie he did directly after Scream was As Good As It Gets, 1997's As Good As It Gets, with Jack Nicholson and Greg Kinnear. And interestingly enough, Jamie Kennedy is also in that movie. It was a movie he did after Scream as well. And Skeet remembered, I kept the boots. They were my personal boots. I kept them, and I wore them in that movie. So they're actually in 2 movies. They were in Scream, and they were in As Good As It Gets. I look it up. It's not streaming anywhere. I rent it on Vudu in HD and start going through the movie. He only has like 2 scenes in the movie, so it's, you know, it's a long movie, but it's just, he's in a little snippet of it. And insanely enough, he plays like a model that is trying to model for a painting, and there's a lot of shot. I couldn't believe it. Like, I swear the boots get more screen time in that movie than Skeet does. So there's several shots of the boots from all angles, showing the sides, the top, the bottom, the back, the inside. Just it was like dangling a carrot, you know. It was just in my face. I'm like, what is happening? It's like he's not in the movie, but the boots are. That's all they're focusing on, is the boots. Unfortunately, it was just not clear enough to see what the writing or what the logo that we were looking at was, which, again, felt like it was closer, but kind of felt like, well, we're back to square one. We already knew, as I said, that there was a small square that appeared to be red or orange on the bottom, from the 4K release of the original Scream, which gave us that little tiny glance of the marking on the bottom. So I searched and searched and searched and searched. I enlisted the help of fellow friends and fans, Corey Hirsch and Nick Meese. We searched and searched and searched and searched for anything that looked even similar or close. There was a lot of... The good thing was we were able, it seemed anyways, to eliminate a lot of possibilities, but there was also a lot of things that were really close, but we could just tell. Even though we couldn't see it clearly, we could tell it wasn't the same. So it just, again, felt like we're just running out of options here. There's no other way to figure this out. Well, Corey had the brilliant thought and idea of, you know, because we all rented it. That's what we did. We all rented it in HD to be able to go through and get those frames. So Corey had this thought of, you know, even though it's HD, it's compressed. When you are streaming a movie, the movie file's actually compressed, which takes, it is still in HD, but it takes some of the detail away from the picture. So, okay, maybe if we get a physical copy of it on Blu-ray, the picture quality the detail will be just enough more, just enough better to allow us to actually make out this square that appears to have little symbols in there and whatnot. So what do we come to find out? Of course, another obstacle. The movie hasn't been released on Blu-ray in like a long time. The original Blu-ray that was released by the studio was likely just an upscaled standard def version of the movie, but now defunct label Twilight Time, which does limited edition releases of movies on Blu-ray, had released As Good As It Gets. Kind of a strange title from the release, honestly, but they did it. Well, again, they're defunct. They're limited edition anyways. Every time they sell out, they go like bonkers on eBay. But I was able to find that out, and also find out that Twilight Time, when they released the movie, they did a new transfer of it just for their release. So now we're thinking this is our best shot at making out what that logo was. So Corey took one for the team. He bought one at a ridiculous price on eBay. had it sent to his house. It actually came several days early. Meanwhile, during this time, Nick and I have just been scouring the internet looking for any logo that looks even similar. And Corey ended up messaging and saying, hey, any luck? Nope. What about Nick? Nothing. No luck. Well, we can all stop looking now. What? Come again? We can all stop looking now. The Blu-ray came early, and I know what the brand is now. So, thank you, Corey. Thank you, Corey Hirsch. Everybody. Fans around the world, please. Everyone that's wanted to know this for 25 years. Massive thank you to Corey Hirsch. The brand of the GHOSTFACE Scream 1996 boots are, ready for it? Reebok. That's right. They're actually Reebok boots. I didn't even know that Reebok made boots. This is probably one of the reasons why we went 25 years without ever knowing, because it was a brand that I didn't even know made boots like that. And more specifically, Box. B-O-K-S. Those are the letters that are inside that little red square symbol that we now know belongs to this. And again, the research that Corey did was able to find out that Box was sort of like a separate line from regular Reeboks, and it was their work slash hiking slash whatever, type boot line in the 90s. And apparently it was actually really popular in the 90s, right around that time frame, right around 94, 95, 96, whatever, 97. So again, it makes total sense. So that's it. That's it, guys. That's it. I will say also, unfortunately, they are extremely hard to find. We have looked. Now the hunt begins for the same type of pair, of course. We have looked everywhere. Nothing even close. Similar, but no. One other interesting aspect that we have discovered from this that I would like to point out is, as you know, film, especially when you shot on film, obviously it works the same with digital, but it was more so with film. Depending on the type of lighting and the color correcting of the film and the way that they wanted the movie to look, a lot of times it changes the colors of everything. You might have a movie like for example the Fight Club jacket. It looks like dark like blood red color in the movie, but when you see the actual screen use jacket in real life, it's a little bit brighter than that. It's just because of the way they lit the movie and the way they color corrected it. So we are also able to not only reveal the brand, but also reveal that, in fact, Ghostface's boots in the original Scream are not black. They are dark brown. That's right. All those times we were like, oh, look at this, the McFarlane figure, it's got brown boots, it's inaccurate. Hey, it might not have been the right color of brown, but for real, guys, check it out. Ghostface's boots in Scream 1 in real life were a dark brown. They were not black. They just appeared black on camera. So there you have it, guys. That's the video. I just wanted to tell you how crazy of a story it was and what the key to finally figuring out what the brand was ended up being the 1997 Jack Nicholson comedy As Good as It Gets. So there you have it. 25-year mystery solved. Hope you guys enjoyed. And now I gotta go and update my boots video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe.